Good afternoon. You're watching Business World Live. I'm Jess De Los Santos. Let's take a look at how the local bourse closed today, Friday. Okay, just when you thought local shares were about to end the day in the red, another last minute buying helped propel the shares higher today. As you can see right here, the index ended the day with a 0.9% gain to cap off the week at 7,297. Now, Japhet and Tango of Phil Stocks told us earlier in the program that investors at this stage are really cautious, but they're still bullish as cases continue to decline and vaccination phase improves. It's just that the Omicron threat is tempering that optimism a bit. He still sees the market, though, testing the 7,300 level before year end. From there, let's jump into our leaders and laggards for the day. As you can see right here, you have BLDT outperforming the day's top winner here, along with Globe. The two telco stocks here continue to make gains after the Senate passed on final reading a bill opening the telco space and other industries to greater foreign ownership. Same scenario here for Converge. As you can see, capping off the session higher by 3.6%. This as the broadband operator has approved a plan to seek shelf registration of as much as 20 billion pesos worth of bonds to be issued within 3 years. Also, I would like to draw your attention here to our energy stocks here looking mixed today as Solar Philippines made its debut on the local bourse. A number of gainers here, the likes of GT Capital and Aboitiz Equity Ventures. GT Capital, for one, ended the day higher by 4.1%. However, we have a number of losers here, power-related stocks, the likes of San Miguel. Also, there's Meralco and also AC Energy and Aboitiz Power. Talking about Solar Philippines, let's check in on how it closed on its maiden day on the bourse. I tempered losses of as much as 24% earlier to cap off the session with a 1% gain to 1 pesos and 1 centavo a piece. Solar Philippines, of course, raised 2.7 billion pesos in its maiden share sale. It's the last IPO for the year. Chanchanko says that Solar Philippines is a bright prospect, but faces risks due to tight competition in the market. As you can see, again, at least a good maiden day here for Solar Philippines. Lastly, let's have a quick glance at Metro Pacific, which is on major expansion mode for 2022 for its toll roads unit. For instance, the plan is to double its top line revenue upon completion of existing projects. On power, it's going to capitalize on renewable energy, hoping to push capacity to 2,500 megawatts. Metro Pacific, as you can see right here, joins the rally on Friday, up by a quarter of 8%, 3 pesos and 89 centavos a piece. To talk more about Metro Pacific's expansion plans and other initiatives we have on the program, Metro Pacific's Chief Finance and Sustainability Officer, Jay Cabal Revilla. Good afternoon, Ms. Jay. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Jess. How are you?
Doing great. I hope you guys are doing great over there as well. Okay, looking at first at your performance for 2021, how is the year shaping up to be for Metro Pacific? 9-month net income more than doubled, over 100% here. What drove that?
We did quite well this year. We were one of those who blessed to have been able to recover from the economic contraction brought about by the pandemic. No, I would say that our recovery could be attributed to two things. One, we have a diverse portfolio which covers the basic essentials of all market segments. Two, we have the most amazing and dedicated people within the MP group who were relentless in their commitment, not to keep the lights on, the water flowing, our toll roads operational, our hospitals open and running despite the fear then and even now, just to keep our service going. And so for the first 9 months, as you see there, our core income grew by 23% versus last year. Also, our reported income increased by 147% versus last year, as we were able to realize gains from our sale of Don Muang Tollways that's in Thailand, and our move to transfer our global business power interest to Meralco.
Mhm. Safe to say, though, that you are going to at least hit your targets for the year.
Yes.
Mhm. Now, moving forward, how are things looking like for 2022? we do recall Chairman Manny V. Pangilinan saying in the past that the company intends to further explore opportunities in the digital space. Do you have more details on that?
We just finished our budget review, and um, I think it's safe for me to say that we will actually retain our double-digit growth for the next year.
Mhm, mhm. Now, more about your digital expansion here. What's in the pipeline here for Metro Pacific?
I think we will give you a few great surprises for next year. We will be venturing into less regulated industries
Mhm,
as part of our resiliency strategy. No, this is really because we've had a not so nice experience in some of our regulated industries.
mhm,
So early this year, in the first quarter, we had an opportunistic acquisition in a fuel storage business with existing cash flows and earnings of about $20 million. So together with Keppel, we acquired PCSPC, that's Philippine Coastal Storage and Pipeline Corporation in Subic. Last July, also as part of our Boss MBB's birthday month celebration, we launched MWell. MWell is an integrated healthcare platform which was created for the holistic well-being of Filipinos. No, it actually provides professional digital consultations, wellness and nutrition programs, health and insurance products through our partners, say PhilCare. MWell is our way of making healthcare accessible and available to every Filipino, given the pandemic where the hospitals were congested and there was an overall fear. To date, we almost have about 200,000 installs and downloads. You should
mhm.
actually download it. We actually have it available on iOS and Android.
Android, okay.
Yeah. And this week talaga nag-plug, no? So this week, we actually launched Wellness Core. Ang pangit ng akin core. Kasi hindi
No,
ako
we
nag
can see it clearly. We can see it clearly. Yeah.
So you have to exercise. So I just sit here for like 12 hours. So there. So it's
Well,
really
good enough.
nice.
Good enough. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is, we're also particularly happy and proud of our boutique and leisure real estate development
Mhm,
business. I'm not sure if you recall Lanco, the
mhm,
developers
yeah.
of Punta Fuego, no? The pandemic has pushed the values of our beachfront properties, especially those white sand beach properties in Calatagan and Leia. There you see that in the picture there.
Mhm,
Our millennial resorts through Cruzoe in Batangas have been doing well with double-digit margins. And I think part of the differentiating factor that we have is the sustainability angle. We actually
mhm,
use recycled container vans in their cottage villas, the large
mhm,
water pipes as rooms called cocoons. And recently, they were given the EDGE certification by the IFC of the World Bank. Yun. On the right side, which you see there, we're also growing our waste management business. We have an exclusive partnership with LIP. It's actually a German company
mhm,
which use anaerobic digestion technology, which is a biological and environmental friendly process to produce biogas replacing fossil fuel for steam or power generation. And the other byproducts for that would include LNG, CO2 for carbonated drinks, mga sodas,
yeah.
fertilizers, and more. We actually view this business as a long-term solution for food and agricultural business and mga industrial facilities, even for cities and municipalities who need to address their mga organic and waste management issues. We actually have existing biogas plants now in Sorala,
Mhm.
and we will complete another one in Pulumulok by first or second quarter next year. We will also be putting up similar plans for other multinational manufacturing companies and fast food chains by next year.
Okay, so definitely lots of plans, at least in these what you call as less regulated industries. But let's talk more about your traditional businesses here. We're talking about hospitals and tollways. We do believe that part of the plan is to also take these units public within 2 years. At least, have you thought this through already? Any updates on that?
We are actually seeing a lot of interest from from many investors and would-be suitors, if I may say it. But we are still determining the best timing for both the hospital
Mhm,
and the toll roads. For toll roads, this business had been the most affected during the lockdown, no, lockdowns and mobility restrictions. So for now, we are focused on completing and executing all the existing projects in our pipelines. We have over 70 kilometers of toll roads that are currently under construction in the country. These will be completed sometime in 2022 and 2023, including our iconic Cebu Cordova Bridge, which will
Mhm,
be fully completed and open by next year. For our hospital group, we are continuing to expand our portfolio and footprint. We just recently completed our acquisition of Commonwealth Hospital in Quezon City, and
mhm.
we are working closely with our partners, KKR and GIC, in determining the best timing for the IPO. And we will update the market and everybody in due course.
Okay, oh, by saying that you are at least trying to determine the best timing, do I take it to mean that you are at least trying to gauge first the profitability of your existing projects or those projects that are yet to be completed?
Yes, obviously, because it has a weight on the valuation. Eh.
Mhm. Now, of course, you're also having a partnership here with software company SAP. How can that help scale Metro Pacific's growth in the Philippines and beyond?
Well, actually, part of our sustainability push and playbook is digitalization. And we have been working closely with SAP to push for our digitalization programs and digital transformation. No? Um, One thing that we actually did with SAP was to implement Rise with SAP. We went live last December 1, and we are actually happy to say that we were, I think, the first to implement Rise with SAP here in the Philippines. And
Mhm,
we had the fastest implementation in record time of 3 months.
mhm,
So we are very happy with them. And as I mentioned earlier, digitalization is part of our sustainability playbook because it touches and benefits all of our EESG aspects. So that's economic plus environment, social, and governance. Economic because it brings in efficiencies that reduce costs and enhance revenue streams, right? Environment because digitalization lowers our carbon footprint and makes us use paper less, which saves us trees, right? Social because it enhances employee productivity, which promotes work-life balance, I suppose, and also improves customer experience.
mhm.
Um, with respect to governance, because digitalization provides, the transparency, accuracy, security of data, and more.
All right. Thank you very much again for your time this afternoon and for giving us updates here as to what's in store for Metro Pacific in the coming year. Thank you very much, Cabal Revilla, Chief Finance and Sustainability Officer over at Metro Pacific Investments Corporation. Thank you, ma'am, and stay safe.
Thank you, Jess.
And those are the biggest stories this trading day, December 17, 2021. Catch Business World Live again tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. for the market open and 3:15 p.m. for the market close. I'm Jess De Los Santos. We are One News. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe. Philippines, have a great weekend.